Hello everyone. To continue with the third chapter of class 10th history, that is nationalism in India, we are discussing some of the important years, dates and developments that took place on those dates. Right, this is very important to understand the political development that were taking place in India during the 19th and 20th century, which has its impact on the nationalist movement of India, right, against the Britishers. To continue with that, in the previous video, last thing that we have discussed was till the year 1916, in which we have discussed about the Lucknow Pact and the Home Rule Leagues that formed in India. Right, now to continue with the further development, we'll start from the year 1917. 1917 was the year when Gandhi ji launched the Champaran movement in Bihar. Champaran is the name of a district in Bihar where he fought for the cause of the farmers, for the peasants against the indigo planters. The white settlers in India, the white plantation owners, they were forcing Indian farmers to grow indigo. Initially, this indigo plantation proved to be beneficial for the farmers in a sense that because they were receiving money in advance. But later on they found that a major share of this trade, a major profit share was going into the pockets of the indigo planters, and moreover, after growing indigo, their lands were becoming infertile to grow other crops. So the farmers, they started resenting this fact, and they no more wanted to grow this crop, right? And their side was taken by Gandhiji. He fought a case against the indigo planters. He was a barrister and he fought a case against the indigo planters, and he won the case, right? That the government cannot force the farmers to grow a particular crop, right? So this is the right of the farmers to decide which crop they want to grow. So this was a victory, first victory of Gandhiji on Indian soil, right? And it led to the popularity of Gandhiji. People started connecting him because he was a foreigner who came to India, and he was taking the side of the common people here. People started appreciating his work. Now in the next year 1918, he led a movement in the Kheda district of Gujarat, where he took the side of the farmers again, because Gujarat was undergoing through the famine situation, and for 3 consecutive years the Gujarat state was not receiving rainfall, due to which the farmers were not in a condition to pay taxes to the government. Right, so he fought for this cause, and he won the he persuaded the government not to take the tax. So farmers were exempted from paying taxes. So here I have used Kheda Satyagraha. Satyagraha was his main philosophy that he evolved in the South Africa. Right, in South Africa, when he was working as a barrister there, he took the stand for the black people in South Africa, or the non-white people who were oppressed by the white settlers there. So there also he gained popularity. Now coming to the meaning of this term Satyagraha. Satyagraha is made up of 2 words, Satya plus Agrah. Means he had this firm belief that if when any thing that is done with full truthfulness, right? Truthfulness has a power, truth has a power to persuade other person, right? So he wanted that even you can win your enemies by using this weapon of truth. He had this firm belief, so he followed this here in Kheda Satyagraha, and he persuaded the government to exempt the tax for the farmers, right? So this was again a victory of Gandhiji. In the same year, he organized a mill strike in the Ahmedabad cotton mill industries, where the workers were demanding few basic rights. They wanted to improve their working conditions, but the mill owners were not in favor of this. They were not accepting the demands of the workers. So Gandhi ji organized, after mobilizing people, he organized a strike there and forced mill owners to accept the demands of the workers, basic demands of the workers, right? These movements, these actions of Gandhi ji made him very popular in India among the common people. He was not a politician till so far. He was working for the cause of common people, right? Later on, he joined the politics. Now, this in the same year, 1918, First World War ended in Europe, and the result of this war was, which has its impact in Indian history, that the Ottoman age-old Ottoman Empire of Turkey declined. Now, one empire is declining in Europe, how it is connected with India? Because these Ottoman empire, the head of this empire, the Khalifa, the ruler of this empire, is considered as the Khalifa or the religious head of Muslims across the world, right? The Muslims throughout the world, they considered the Khalifa as their religious head, and Khalifa was dethroned by the Britishers. He was removed from the Takht by the Britishers. So there was a widespread discontentment amongst the Muslims living in different parts of the world, and this anger is shown in seen in Indian soil also, when the Khilafat movement was led by Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. These two brothers led a movement against this action of the Britishers, and it was called Khilafat movement. Right? Now, in the year 1919, Rowlatt Act was passed. Britishers passed Rowlatt Act. It is considered as the most infamous act, and it is also called the Black Act. Now, according to this act, any Britisher, a British officer, can arrest any Indian without giving a warning, without telling why the person is arrested, and without any legal proceeding. The person can be put behind the bar for 2 years, 2 long years, right? So the best thing which describes this act was no appeal, no vakil, no dalil, right? Without undergoing through any legal proceeding, a person can put behind the bar. Now this act was infamous among the Indians because this act was taking their basic civic liberty, basic freedom. So the leaders opposed this act, the Indian leaders, the members of the legislative assemblies, they resigned from this post to show their opposition against this act. And in India, in different regions, people started protesting against this act. Situation was becoming very difficult. Law and order situation was it was becoming very difficult for the government to control, especially in the northern region, especially in Punjab. So to control that situation, government passed martial law in Punjab. And one of the reason why why the anger was so high, why the protest was so high in Punjab, because two very famous local leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal, they were arrested by the British government. So they people protesting against this, people doing demonstration against this action of the government. So to control the situation, the government passed the martial law. Now martial law is such a situation, it is somewhat curfew-like situation, where the people cannot assemble at one place publicly, right? And it is one such situation where the law and order is given into the hands of military, right? Now in such a situation, on 13th April 1919, on Baisakhi day, people gathered at Jallianwala Bagh, right? The purpose was to discuss the things about the arrest of their famous leaders, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu. And the second reason was they wanted to celebrate the festival of Baisakhi. Now Jallianwala Bagh, this park is surrounded by high walls on three sides, and it has a narrow entrance gate. When the people were gathered there, General Dyer came with his troops, blocked that entry gate, and he gave an order of open firing on the crowd. Now this resulted into the killing of many people. On official government records, around 300 people died in this incident, but the actual figure was more than 1100. Right? So this Jallianwala Bagh had this incident was criticized worldwide. Even in the British Parliament, this act was criticized. Right? Now, in the same year, Government of India Act passed, 1919. This is also called Montagu-Chelmsford Reform. Right? Now, after seeing the anger and these are the things which were going parallel developments, that in the same year government was introducing some administrative reforms. Right? So under this reforms, they have introduced the diarchy system. Diarchy is a dual system. Diarchy means two governments ruling at the same time. Diarchy was introduced under this system. Few of the departments was reserved departments, and few of the departments were categorized into the transverse subjects. Like the reserved departments were of great prominence, like the revenue, defense. All these important departments were into the hands of the Britishers, and few departments were given to the Indian leaders, Indian princely rulers. Right? They were called transferred departments or subjects, like agriculture, local things. Right? So they tried to calm down the Indians by giving some concessions to them, and this system proved to be a failure, because the departments which were given to the subjects which were given to the Indian leaders, their main powers were into the hands of the Britishers. For example, the Indians were having the Department of Agriculture, but the irrigation department is into the hands of the Britishers. So without irrigation, they cannot perform agriculture. So for every action, they need to consult the government, British government. They need to seek permission from them. So this is how the half powers were given to the Indians. So it proved to be a failure. Right? Now we'll be continuing with the 1919, same year, how the things that happened, multiple things were happening in India, has its effect in the coming years. Right? And from there we'll be starting the role of Gandhiji in the political arena. So must watch the upcoming videos. Please go through these points, make your notes. Please like, share and review, and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.